Oh, nice.
Hot
Okay.
memes.
Cool. So to kind of see all these sites and travel around, it's going to take about 2 watches. I'm going to say, so it's going to put us into dusk, and I'll kind of like flip between some maps and kind of show you the path for the plan so far, and then we can kind of talk it out again and camp for the night and see if everything's kind of if the plan still works for
Out of
everybody.
character question, what was Amadan doing that we can take over?
So he was doing
Spears.
His job was, I think, the
Oh,
timekeeping. Oh, yeah. So
okay.
he's tracking the map. So,
Timekeeping map?
well, like the physical map, or sorry, the
Oh.
actual map. So. This is all a screen you guys can see on your own. So can you see that token?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Did we land on this hex's shore?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the beach was on this hex 2. You are actually in hex 3 right now. So can one of you drag it over?
No. I can make all the lines I want, apparently. I think I'm still in the drawing tool.
Let me check.
Yeah, I tried switching, and it's not
There you grab it.
that something happened. Events occurred.
Oh, it's behind the map now. I think. Weirdly.
Uh-oh.
Too many layers.
There's a Shrek joke in there somewhere.
You know why the game's paused? My spirit.
That's you're right.
All right.
That's right.
Alright,
The
we figured
font
it out.
gets us again.
It still has like a dark shading for me.
Yeah, it's kind of gray. Interesting.
It was fine, and then I think something happened.
Yeah, I messed with it. Let me see this.
Neat. Even when it's not working, it's a neat tool. You can tell how it's supposed to work.
Foundry's picky.
There we are.
All right, there we go.
All right. Well, that's wild.
Let me reset that.
Don't look too hard, guys. Although we do have a map.
Yeah,
that I
refog it.
stole.
So now it will kind of show you like the nearby hexes, and as we travel around, it will give us a little fog of war effect, so we can see where we've been.
Awesome.
So that should be better.
You said it's
so
dusk.
yeah, we are in. Yeah, it's
3.
dusk. We're in hex 3, and that's where we're gonna stay for this next few events.
Okay.
Okay, so Locan leads you to the cliffs. That would kind of suit your needs. So,
That's
you
where the
see
cave
over
is.
here- no, these are the cliffs. So it's about, let's say, a 40-foot drop. So if you were to kind of go around and dig at the bottom, if you're going to make your spike pit here, that may be an option. So
Mm.
this
I'm
is where
sorry.
you're gonna. These are
this
the
in
cliffs
hex-
where you're gonna lead the boar to.
And is this in hex 3?
Yeah, this is all in hex 3.
Yeah.
Even the boar.
It's like a
Wow.
subsection of Hex 3.
Oh, I somehow thought that they were in hex 1 and the boars had place. My bad.
Yes. Yeah. I kind of let you operate under false assumptions last game.
Okay.
And then he takes you to kind of like a few hundred feet out from the hill to kind of show you. So I found a picture that kind of meets my needs. So imagine if this wasn't trees, but more kind of like waist to ankle high foliage. I'm picturing like a hill like this and this kind of rocky outcropping. And like this kind of would be to stand in for the cave entrance.
Gotcha.
To climb it, we'd have to do like a Princess Bride.
Not quite. So you don't need to go up the rocks. The entrance is actually in the base of those rocks. So you can walk up the hill to that point. It just that's kind of what you're dealing with. Yeah, exactly.
So like this is probably like 30 feet.
Something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
And then kind of like the path between, we're gonna jump to a map you saw before, which is one of my kind of general use jungle maps. So this path, the board tends to frequent and is kind of like in the middle between the cave area and the cliffs that you would need to go to. So.
So this central rock thing, can we like climb it?
It would be like cave area, cliff area.
Cave, this path, then the cliffs.
Right.
Yeah. So these cliffs over here are about 10 feet tall. The central rock's about 15 feet tall.
Thanks. Okay.
I'll just go to my instincts, because that's what I do. I'd like to climb that middle rock in the center and just scope 360.
Okay. What are you looking for?
The lay of the land, any tracks. What is that?
So yeah, as you are climbing the rock, you put your hand in this huge gouge along the length of the rock, and Lokan explains that was the boar sharpening its tusks at one point. So about 12 feet high.
Oh, whoa. Wait, the boar can reach 12 feet high with its tusks?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh. We need to recalculate.
Yeah.
That's why
big
you
boy.
drew a much larger pit trap around it.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
this thing's huge.
Yeah. All right.
You don't want to tangle with that 1-on-1 or even 3-on-1.
What if we just break a couple of its legs? We just need to handicap it.
Didn't you say that earlier?
Name the wild beast.
Yeah.
How would you accomplish this, friend?
How does anyone twist their ankle?
With a little pit.
Yeah, a bunch of little pits, if you will.
So maybe along this very path where it tends to travel, we could dig some trip pits of some sort.
Yes, and so here's my thought. We make it run across this path, right? And as we do that, we create little pits along a very specific route that we want it to go, where there's just a high likelihood of it hitting all these pits. How do we make it go down that route? We make very obvious spears that it wants to go around, otherwise it's going to skewer itself.
Okay.
And if it doesn't want to get stuck, it has to go through all these little pits.
What if it goes,
I like it.
perfect. What if it goes like that way?
So is this replacing the cliff idea?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or plan B is like, I'm running to the cliff and it hasn't like hurt itself yet, then I guess we're going to the cliff.
Okay.
And then what's
So
plan
you would
C?
dig these and then dig the backup cliff pit, and yeah, plan C. What would you do for that?
Fire.
Can we go back to the cliffs map?
You make him switch maps a lot. Oh wow.
He's got them. So
Yes.
if we make it run, I assume the path comes down to here, right? So if we make it run this way, we can either put a rope here and I can kind of like swing around, or I can try and dive onto the tree. One of these trees.
Yeah. I see viability in either of those plans.
How deep is that cliff, may I ask?
We're saying it's
40.
feet.
So we're not protecting the golden goose. We're gonna let him-
Possibly
Doesn't
maiming
necessarily
it,
die. This
You
thing's
may have
to kill it.
huge.
Gosh. Is there a fire plan? I don't like fire. I'm making it a character trait that I don't care for fire, given
I
that I'm
think
made
that's
of
very fitting.
wood.
I-
So, my favorite plan.
From our knowledge of the field guide, I believe fire would be ineffective.
Gotcha.
I suspect that rumor is false, but yes, I agree. I don't really see a particular need to try to use fire here. The fire is useful enough in other contexts, especially if we can find other accelerants.
I agree. If there's a possibility that we would be wasting materials, I would rather not.
I will say, Ja, you should be very careful if you end up on top of that tree. If the boar is at the bottom and able to move about, it could take that tree down quite easily, I suspect.
This is true. And then maybe I will find myself tree surfing back onto the top of the cliff, and hopefully cannot leap the cliff in a single bound. Say, tall man, have you ever seen the board leap?
I have not. It is quite spry, and it much faster than its bulk would kind of tell you. But I've never seen it jump, and it certainly can't fly.
I think 43 feet will be okay. Maybe we have a rope set in case I need to jump back off the tree onto the cliff. I can scramble, grab the rope, climb up quickly. Yeah.
Yes, this seems fitting.
Sure, should we go ahead and tie that now? Just to get it in place so we can go dig our holes?
Stake down
So you
the.
dig small holes, dig the big hole, stakes all around, and then this rope the
Mhm,
tree action.
mhm. Rope on the tree. Stake down the other rope. Just kind of lay it across the cliff, so that if I need to climb up the cliff in a hurry, I can use that rope.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
We'll say that's the rope.
Okay. So, let's see. Does anyone want to make a kind of group crafting check? And then, so the time this will take, we're at dusk, kind of after you've done all this planning, you've seen all these sites. So Lokan is going to show you a camping site for the night, as he said. But to make all these traps would probably basically require like all of the third day on the island, and then you would be ready to move by the fourth day.
Okay.
So if you spend that time, you can make a party crafting roll. Whoever's going to lead it, and then just assuming everybody's assisting
I will help.
with a +2, since you're spending out an entire day on it.
You're muted, friend.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know that any one of us is good at crafting, because
Okay.
so whoever's got the highest strength, I want to give that a go.
I am hurt right now.
I'll craft with help. Then
I'll assist.
+2.
2 help.
Inauspicious.
I'm gonna push it.
Does that
Really
include
need
the
to-
+2?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
It's, yeah.
No one's good at crafting.
Not a good crafter.
Oy. You get a willpower.
Told you I wasn't good at crafting.
All right.
So canonically, did we just spend a day failing to dig post holes?
We fell forward. There are
Yeah,
complications.
So you succeeded in what you set out to do, dig the holes and set the spikes and everything. So nothing obviously has failed.
So I'm hurt, right? From that, I get a strength.
Right. So remember,
Use healing.
this was the third day, so it would be take us through the whole third day, and then it would be the beginning of the fourth day before you even face the boar, so everyone would have a chance to heal up.
Do we heal back to full?
Yes, I believe that's what we figured out last time from sleeping. You recover all agility damage. You just don't recover from crits, which we haven't faced yet.
Crits are being broken, and none of us have been, thank goodness.
Yep.
Except for me emotionally, but never mind. I don't know.
Are you broken? No, somebody else. The captain was broken in the very beginning.
Oh no!
So
You're
let's.
right.
What was that?
Never mind. I'm just misremembering history. So, you know.
Okay. Let's kind of draw on the map like what you've done, and we'll jump into the maps real quick. So here we need a pit and a rope, just so we know where everything's at. Clear it first.
Yeah, so there's a rope here. I'm not sure where the pit is going.
I don't know that we need a pit because the plan was, yeah, the
Well, that's
idea.
our plan B. So there's like 3 layers, well, 2 layers and a maybe of, you know, the small kind of hopefully crippling pits and spikes on the walls of its path that it usually takes. Then the backup plan B was the pit trap with spikes. And then the plan C kind of was like maybe fire, maybe something else, and we didn't really come to what that was going to be.
So pit trap is at the end, right? At the like here.
Yeah, it'd be somewhere. Yeah, there.
Gotcha. Spike B's. So I'll be plan B cover.
Yeah, plan B is pretty wide. I feel like we should put the pit trap by the rope to get back up, because we're trying to lure it to there, and the whole point is that I jump out over and reach the tree.
Are you gonna?
So we
You're
would
gonna
like
say you clear this tree for that boar to like go to where the rope is.
So I'm thinking like we put the pit here
Okay.
or something.
So you're gonna run down through this gap, basically.
That was the plan. If we need more space, if we like get there before we even start digging, we're like, it's got to be wider. We can put it here.
Okay.
In that case, I'll put the rope here, and I'll aim for this tree.
Okay, I like it.
I keep hitting Control Z. So there's the rope. So yeah, the plan would be right through here.
Okay.
Isn't he gonna like when he falls? Isn't he gonna be pretty injured anyway? That's our hope.
Well, in case he's not.
Yeah, falling 40 feet, probably another 10 feet into the pit, so 50 feet plus spikes.
And then he won't be able to get back up anyway. So even if it's basically
lives, yeah.
the cliff is a big pit in its.
Right.
This plant right here. Can I move it right here?
Yeah. So this isn't a map I made. This is one I found. So
I know, but
can't
I'm
get it.
narratively.
Yeah, we can. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Beautiful.
What is that? Oh, it's the tree. It's the plant.
It's the moved plant.
Beautiful. We're just doing a little landscaping.
Yep.
I love it.
And about how far is this jump?
To that tree, it's maybe about 15 feet, 10 feet. I would say 10 feet.
If we spend the whole day setting everything up,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and make this jump.
You're gonna test it.
Like, full sprint from back here. Make the jump.
Okay. Can you give me a move with a +1? Because we're saying you know, kind of planned it out. You've maybe done some practice on flat ground and stuff.
I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, you make the jump. It's definitely hard, but you successfully land a tree and it takes your weight.
It is possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of clamber down and work your way back around the cliffs and are back at the top.
Is there any way I could make an adjustment or a modification or add something to this tree to make it any easier?
Yeah, so you can cut some branches that kind of like some of the outlying branches that aren't really good enough to hold you up, but are gonna like hinder your jump.
Yeah.
And so we can increase that to a +3 if you include that in your
Okay.
for your jump.
Yeah, I'll prepare it as best I can for the jump.
Okay, I like it. So digging and trap building and you know, some
More digging is coming.
landscaping and pruning of trees.
Hmm.
Okay, so and then the pit's still gonna be here, or you're not doing the pit anymore?
I don't think we need a pit down there because the cliff here is its own pit.
I don't think we can really fit a pit anywhere is the thing.
You just
And
moved
then-
the whole tree. We can make it happen if we wanted to.
Digging up a tree and moving a tree for like a day, not too bad. But like digging a whole pit, covering it, making it not look suspicious, and being able to make it that I can run over it without dying, that's a tall order.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
Okay.
Like this thing's smart.
He's the king of the dire wars.
He's seen some things. I'm sure people have tried pit traps on it before.
Anything else on that map for now, or we're gonna go to the path map?
I'm
for
good.
Okay. Lokan's gonna leave because he has to also kind of join the patrols and keep like his jobs up, helping with the upkeep of the various patrol sites. So, is there anything else you want to ask before he leaves?
Want a high five?
It takes
On
a
his
few
stuff.
awkward attempts to teach him how to high five.
I'm gonna run a distance as fast as I can, maybe like a 90-foot chunk of distance,
Okay.
and ask him how long I have before the boar catches up.
Okay, so like he's watching you run and kind of judging
Yeah.
speed.
Mm-hmm.
Lorcan, watch me run.
Right.
Spins off into the distance.
Look what I can
Look
do.
what I can do. Yes.
If the border were to be starting 30 feet behind that point, and it would catch you about halfway before you could get it. So either
Wait.
make sure you have a very good head start, or
Yeah.
some way to slow it down.
Does the boar make turns very quickly, or is he a bit clumsy?
It does not. It tends. That's one of the ways our warriors escapes. It is we jump to the side, and it continues on plundering through trees and tearing big swaths of the jungle, and we are able to get away.
I see. Lovely. My thoughts as well. Good.
All right, so Lokan heads off.
I'm good.
Cool.
So
Okay,
we're
so-
gonna rest another night.
I believe so, and then do this in the morning.
Yeah. Well, any edits to this map?
I will make it
It looks
more accurate.
okay.
But like, put a spear here. Put a spear here. Put a spear here. Pull. 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 Yeah, basically.
Helping.
Just like basically just like full of holes. More spears. And just like try and make it like both make hard turns and only be able to hard turn into difficult terrain, right?
Okay.
So the only thing, this one coming
Alright,
down
I like it.
and then yeah, like dodging to the side kind of a deal. I may skewer myself if we put one there.
Gotta draw the
Okay.
path first. Why are there all these holes on the right?
Because that's the way it's gonna go.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
it's gonna go like in the straightest line.
Okay.
But and maybe it goes past me. And then
Panic.
and we'll
Should
figure
we-
it out.
I was gonna say, do you want to climb up on this rock? But I'm standing on. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so
well, I'm gonna put myself in observer mode.
while Jaw is making this run, like, what's everyone else gonna be doing?
Watching.
I'm gonna be a county.
Just pop
Praying.
Yeah.
We could, while he's luring it to its death, go into the cave.
I feel like
Yeah. No, so
Oh,
two of you at least need to go into the cave while this thing's occupied.
is Sorg, what's his name? Is he still a
so-
playable character, or did he
Sorgul-
get like the
So
stomach?
we'll say he'll stay with Jaw and kind of help, like, draw the attention.
Okay. If I could
I'll
station
station
him where she is now on the map, so yeah. So if I need a way out of here, he can like drop me a rope or like give me his hand and pull me up this cliff so that we can, you know, hightail it out of there. If this thing, like if I can't keep running past here
Okay,
and things get disrupted.
got you. Okay.
I'm prepared to go into the cave.
Okay, so we'll kind of jump back and forth.
That's fine.
Sorry to split the party.
That's fine. Cave crew and
Bait.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. It sounds like all the prep you need to do, right?
Yep. Ready to pull the trigger.
All right. So this is a nice camp that Ken showed you all. Right on the edge of a waterfall, so you can only be attacked from one direction.
Hmm.
What's everyone talking about on possibly their last night on Hot Springs Island?
Well, what are these here vines I've drawn?
Good question. Let me look that up for you.
We, set up camp next to some deadly.
Listen, my people have very wonderful recipes
So
for
these are
board butt.
These are green vines covered with kind of almost feather-like leaves. There are small red flowers and orange peppers along their length, and they're hanging down kind of the edge of the cliff. They're not really up, like the very edge of the tent.
Thank you.
It looks like there might be some kind of thorns and other structures in it, but I mean vines.
Are
Do you wanna-
these blind fire?
I'm kind of comparing
vine?
back and forth between. fire vines.
A blind fire is tendrils, at which point it lashes out. So let's not use those for climbing. However, blind fire peppers are flavorful and juicy, and a blind fire vine or blind fire carpet sounds lovely. Kills, the spicier and more prized its peppers become, especially around festival time. Who the F is having festivals here?
Big island.
I guess. Well, I hope they have like an Applebee's or someplace here because I don't know where I'm going to be taking.
Too spicy for Applebee's.
That's fair. Deep in, rumor has it that there's a pool of lava beneath each blind fire vine, but I'm just going to categorize every rumor as some bull. But anyway, so concerned that these are simi.
Scoot's bed a little farther away from the vines.
I'll try to gather some of their peppers. Is that okay?
Sure. How are you gonna do that carefully?
I'm gonna tie a rope around his waist just to yank him out
Okay.
in case anything happens.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to descend down the cliff. I'm just gonna, just like take 2 sticks, reach out, pluck, pull back.
Chopstick style.
A few of them.
Yeah, like big long
exactly.
chopsticks.
Okay. Yeah. So with your rope around your waist and your long sticks to safely harvest peppers, I'd say you can do that without having to roll. So you're able to get about a dozen peppers.
Hell yeah.
If I have time and ability, I'd like to set up my cookstone, use some of the tiniest possible amount of flint moss and some wood, if we can find some dry or punk wood about. Set a fire, convert this vegetable food into actual food that we can use.
I think we can use the,
Okay, so
the obsidian and steel.
2 strand.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. That's better.
So you can steal before the fire.
Yeah, I would prefer to keep the flint moss for a rainy day, if you will.
Can you re-wet your lily pad, please, for my
Yeah, I'll dunk
concern?
it. Dunk it in the river.
Sure, nice little string here.
Well, does anyone else have another way to start a fire?
Yeah, we have the obsidian.
Yeah,
Yeah, you all have
flint.
obsidian things now.
Obsidian and steel, yeah. Make a spark, right?
Does anyone? I suspect we need survival enough. That my character is.
Oh,
Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, I would say that's pretty reasonable that all your characters would know, kind of just from the war and also from your training / torture, where you're kind of like sent from world to world, surviving. You can manage like the basics of firecraft and stuff.
Okay, good. Then I'll just use obsidian and steel to start a fire.
Okay.
And cook.
I like it.
I am, gathering or filling my water skin with water and taking a nice long soak to make myself less or more fire resistant necessary.
Okay. You're quite hydrated.
Dunking the lily
My
pad.
vines are happy.
Okay, so basically Z and Zernak are gonna hide somewhere, and once you hear like the dire boar start kind of like roaring and tearing through the jungle, you're gonna make your way to the caves in the morning. Is that the plan?
Yeah. Once it's been baited out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any last words?
My friends, I hope we come back to the same spot. We have some spicy foods.
Yeah, let's meet here, I guess, if something goes wrong. Or if something goes right, we'll meet here.
How far away is this spot from the path?
So I'd say this is almost a mile away from the path.
Let us meet at, we'll find a tree that's like a quarter mile off the path that like sticks out. Some obvious landmark.
Not the big rock that I stood on when we got there.
The one tree that's in fall while the rest are in summer.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Meet at the fall tree.
Yep.
Okay, so Marty is watch captain. Can you put us at morning on the 4th day?
Sure can. Doo-doo-doo.
Okay.
Do you need me to do watch?
No, I mean, yeah, a watch check, and then can everyone spend, make 2 more, food, you don't need water rolls, but food rolls, just to check if your rations are holding up. You have a nice stream that supply your water here, so. Okay, good. Okay, yep, your scouting is great.
Hey, I helped you out.
Nice. We don't need to worry about water since you guys have that waterfall to rely on, so that's cool. Okay, so watch passes pretty uneventfully. You do hear during the night, kind of down this cliff, the waterfall's pouring down, even over the sound of the waterfall, kind of roaring through the night. You do hear some distant. It sounds like quite a few creatures of some sort, kind of tearing through the jungle and making these high-pitched cries, almost bird-like cries. You're not really able to recognize it from anything you've seen so far, but nothing bothers your campsite.
Cool.
Okay, so in the morning, can you give me a scouting roll helped by the group to kind of spot the boar and see if it's ready to be spooked into your complex trap here?
You said scouting?
So that'd be, yeah, so +3 from everybody helping out on this.
Looks good to me.
Beautiful. Okay, so let me see how I pulled just 2 of you onto a different map. One moment.
I'm nervous.
We'll
Yeah.
see how it goes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I've changed the accessibility. So dense jungle is the path that supposedly the boar will take, and then HS0302 is the boar cave. So you guys should be able to navigate between them by yourselves. So just get a peek of what we're dealing with here. This imposing shape when you get there of the rock outcropping is the nice dark shape, and you can kind of see into the cave mouth here.
I do not own vision to this screen.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't give you. I took your token off.
You're not there.
Uh-oh.
We're there. Let's
Can you
by
see
the
it now?
I cannot. It is purple and black.
I guess it resets you when I delete it.
Gasp. Aha. Yes.
Okay, yeah, so if you were there, this is what you would kind of see as your cave entrance.
What are the other two?
You have a dark and mysterious cave. What's that?
up here, at the north, what are the other two splits?
So the fallen tree is kind of blocking some of your vision in that direction.
Gotcha.
So you can see to either side of it.
Okay.
And then cave entrance is over here, and then either side kind of goes to the right or left, facing in that diagonal towards the cave mouth. Goes like parallel along the length of that rocky outcropping I showed you on the hill map.
Mm-hmm.
So something like that.
Yep.
Z, we should probably conceal ourselves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go by that fallen tree and look like I also fell. Like
I
make
am the tree.
myself
Can I
like the tree. You're on your own, Zarnak.
No, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going right over that tree and using my
Can I
elven-
get a... Go ahead. Sorry.
That same tree.
Okay. Can I get a... one of you to roll a group stealth roll for just the two of you, so with a plus
Oops.
one. Sorry, we'll make it +2, because you guys have spent time planning all this.
Who's on the stealth?
It's
Thanks
in
for
the
help.
agility box.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Very
Okay.
stealthy.
I'm just going to use black magic if that's okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Cast my elf spell. You know, however, I think I need to spend
Magic.
roll 2.
How would you describe that to everyone else who witnesses it?
Just extremely quiet, and just it's as if he's moving through the grass, but not a single blade is disturbed, as if he has no weight, as if he almost steps upon the tip of the blade and pushes off from it. Assuming the spell works. It did, but I think I got a bad thing that happened also.
Yes. So let me roll that for you.
You looked real dumb when you did it, maybe.
Yeah, but in addition to that, there's a magic mishap.
Yes, so you only got a minor effect. So when you cast a spell, it seems all the plants and blades of grass within 10 feet of you start wilting and emit this chorus of like tiny little shrieks and then wilt into
no.
blackness. So just a flavor effect this time.
Yeah, I conspicuously stalk away from that as quickly as possible, looking a little embarrassed.
Seems to have
If
lost-
anyone looks at me by way of explanation, I will say something to the effect of, even nature abhors the elf.
I love it. Sorry, just a second. I seem to have lost my map.
You're good.
I don't see your token anywhere.
Okay, so while you're hiding, the pair of you hear these kind of like thunderous footfalls, and basically this enormous wall of hair and bone and just matted disgustingness stalks by your hiding space without ever noticing you, and it just looks like part of the hill has detached itself and is moving downwards. And
God.
Jaw and Svesgal, from your hiding spot on the path, you see this monstrosity coming towards you, and before it can reach you, this like basically wave of stench, just like of rotting meat and heavy porcine musk, just kind of walks over you, and this thing's just like slowly working its way towards you and rooting in the ground, and it looks like this thing is bigger than 12 feet tall. It looks like it's about 20 feet tall.
Cool. I'm gonna grab some foliage that's right by me,
Okay.
break it a couple times, shove it into my mask so that's all I can smell. Hop down onto the path, loose an arrow at it, and then start running down the path.
All right, so it seems to be very sensitive to sound, and as you break this foliage, it raises its head and just kind of clears some of the small trees before it, and it's looking in your direction. And can you roll me an attack with, since this thing's so big, it's going to be with a +2.
It's marksmanship, right?
Correct. Nice.
Not too bad.
Yeah, so you hit this thing right in its nose, and it rears back and just gives this thunderous squeal.
About how far is it?
It's basically
100
at the
feet?
edge of your bow shot, so like about 150, 200 feet from you.
Cool. Perfect.
And then Svezgol, without any like urging from you, has hidden himself as you plan.
Mhm.
So let's give me a move check and see how you navigate this map.
Any pluses since I know where things are?
It's going to be with a +3 for this and your jump as well. Since you've done so much planning, you're involved in all the design.
That'll be good enough.
Yep, that's a success. You definitely needed that +3. Okay, so you clear the path pretty quickly, and you see this, like, you turn back at one point and see this thing closing the distance, like, even faster than Lilkin
Expected.
led on.
Mhm.
And it basically doesn't slow at all as these obsidian spears are just ramming into it. It starts to look like a pincushion, and because it's so big, most of these holes aren't really seeming to do much to it. But
Mhm.
like he described it, it does not turn well, and it just kind of blows through a tree, smashes over a huge boulder.
I'm gonna
and
try
then-
and duck to the side. If it catches up to me like too quickly, I'm gonna duck to the side to try and have it like run straight in.
Yeah, it's not this close to you yet, but let me put it on the map so you can kind of get a
Okay.
different size.
Need some more. Oh well.
So there we go.
It's a good guy.
It's your friend.
Oh, but of course.
So yeah, like this thing is just like tearing a whole new path through the jungle, trying to chase you as you veer serpentining and keep ahead of it. So far you are good. We're gonna jump to our friends at the
Oh boy.
cave. So what are you doing when you see this thing roar and it's now about a half a mile away from you guys? And
Listening. Moving very quietly and softly to the edge of the cave and peeking in.
Same.
Do we hear anything? Do we smell any?
so the same smell that I kind of described earlier is heavily evident here, and as well as just the smell of dead bodies. And kind of looking around the ground, you do see spinning around. You do see debris and like pieces of armor, a few spent arrows. It looks like either the thing was attacked here or has been, as described, dragging back a lot of various goods.
Oh boy.
And
Creatures like us do not survive well in this isle. I see. We should be fast.
Go in. Can I see without a torch?
no, so you don't. Only the goblin can. So let me set you up for torch vision.
Torch vision. I don't want to be seen.
Oh, so you're not going to use any torch?
Well, I can't see if I can use it.
So if you go in without a torch, you can basically see one square around yourself clearly, and after that, it's just dim light for
black.
a small angle. And that's mostly from you kind of like feeling your immediate surroundings. If you go in with a torch, you're going to be casting light for 4 squares around you, bright light.
Like, there's no sneaking happening if I have a torch, yeah?
Unless you have some other way to see in the dark.
I'm gonna go with the torch.
I agree.
Okay. I'll set that up.
What'd you get here?
I'm just putting you here so you can see stuff while we're talking it, even though.
So you can
you're not
watch.
Okay, so in theory, you guys should be casting light as you move into the cave. You should be casting a circle around yourself.
The attempted token movement collides with at least one. I guess I have to go around. Oh, I am casting light.
That's
Beautiful. Cool. Yeah, and you can each see each other's light since you're projecting it. So, if you spread out, you can kind of see more area.
Should we just like scoot on along in here, or is there a movement speed
Yeah,
restriction?
so as you go in, you see where this thing has scraped against the walls. Again, more of those scrapes that you saw on the rock where it just gouged huge chunks out. The walls have like ripped off matted fur, and there's like blood along the walls, and you do see the body of some sort of lizard folk. Looks like it's been smashed. It kind of hurtled with great force and kind of drug across the ground, and
Do we
dead
see
over here?
up ahead in the light?
You see the boulder? Is that what you
Yeah, the magic rock.
So far, you're just kind of seeing pillars of stone that are blocking your vision. You don't see anything that looks like that.
Are you okay with us scooting in this slow manner?
Yeah, let's do just a little bit more, and we'll jump around. So, are you guys splitting up here?
No, I'll wait.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of the dark, but just in case they're afraid of the dark.
Okay. And then I'm dragging your friend along here just so you can see what's going on.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you see another lizard folk body here that's been just gored to the point of it's basically ripped in half. And more.
They don't have any,
Go ahead.
they don't have any obvious equipment on them, right?
This one's wearing. Both are wearing hide armor, and this one is had a spear and its next one, but it's shattered.
Left,
Nothing
right, or
in-
forward?
Let's stop at this point actually,
Okay.
and jump back to our friend.
That magic rock up north.
Not sure. I guess we'll have to check it out next time. Okay, to the cliffs.
Yep.
What's happening?
So, let's go ahead and make your another move with your +3. This thing is closing the distance, and it's on the map now.
I'll push it. Oh boy. Do I get another will because it was a skull in that push?
Yeah, so you would take damage, and you're back to, you start with 1 mil for the day under our kind of house rule.
Mhm.
You take these damage, 2 damage to agility,
2?
and then yeah, and basically you kind of strain yourself trying to outrun this beast right behind you,
Right.
and then you now have 1 more will.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and duck through the 2 plants.
Mhm.
Do I have a modifier?
Yeah, so it's still +3. So you're ahead of it. It's definitely close in distance because there's just no room left to maneuver and make these turns that you've kept ahead of it with. So you have one to push with.
If I get neither a success or a failure,
Let's see what happens.
I'm gonna keep the push. I'm gonna roll with it.
Okay.
Make the
So
leap.
this thing, you do not make the leap. Okay, so here's what we're gonna say happens. So you do catch a tree, but not in that spot you cut early up. You catch it about halfway down. So
Okay.
you're gonna take 2 strength damage from falling damage. And then the boar comes out over. And let me see how this goes.
It's very tense.
I know. I have very tense music going too.
Okay, so the boar is, since you fell kind of farther down the tree, the boar is going to partially hit you as it lunges off and kind of goes further than you saw it with just this immense momentum. It's basically like a runaway wagon at this point of just huge body going very fast and now diving off this cliff. So it's gonna smash the tree down and you're gonna fall and take an additional 2 strength damage.
And if I'm at 0 strength?
You are broken.
Okay.
So
I roll on the broken thing, right?
You want to go ahead and roll that actually, and then we'll go to the cave.
What do I do?
Just a second. Let's see.
Okay.
This leads to a critical injury, I believe. When
Yeah.
approach is broken, yeah. You're- It looks like you roll a D66 on the table of relevant events to the latest form of damage you have suffered. But I believe
It's
that's
probably
2d6.
strength.
Yeah, but I thought there was a way to automate this. But
If you go to the end to 196, you'll see those tables. Slash wounds, 1/4, stab wounds. This would probably be 1/4, I suspect. It doesn't
Yeah.
look too terrible.
okay, 1 second.
Well, if somebody's gonna get broken at some point, right?
Right. Well, I deliberately gave my guy all the healing and support skills. So hopefully it won't be the end of the universe, but also
Hopefully I can walk back.
let's hope so.
It's not looking like it.
We'll see.
Let's see.
I'll take
Okay,
broken
what did you
ribs.
say we rolled for this.
I think it's 2d6. And then
Yeah,
you-
D66.
Okay. Yeah. Can you go ahead and roll that in the chat, and then we'll see what.
I don't know how. Is it exclamation point? Nope. How do I roll them?
I'll just use the rolling thing. If you click on the top of your sheet, you can just add 2 dice to the base and click roll, and then it will roll for you. But don't roll like I did. Roll.
So that's a
better.
15.
Yeah. So, concussion. So you awake.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Actually, what we'll see. We'll see what you see when you wake up in a minute. But let's go to the cave.
Seems realistic.
All right, folks.
You're gonna have to move me back over there to see it. Sorry.
You should be here.
I do not see it.
Because you have a concussion.
Hey.
That's weird. Your vision's set up from last time. Can you guys still see?
I see. Yeah, and I see him in the room with us, but
Yeah.
Life is chaos.
It sure is. And large boars.
Yes.
Can you see now?
I cannot. I'm sharing my screen, just so you can check in real time.
That's weird. Technical difficulties.
It happens.
I'm just gonna give you a new character.
Perfect.
And the stream died.
I took it off once it worked.
I say aloud, but quietly. What's that? That stone up there.
What?
Is that a magic
Let
stone?
me check that for you.
Oh, maybe I don't speak exactly.
Okay, so you guys are crossing a area of the ground where this boar has come through quite a bit, and you kind of stumble a little bit as you step into a 3-foot rut in the ground, and just more chunks of metal, broken roots, tree branches scattered around, and the stone that you are approaching, it appears to be a column of stone with some kind of reddish metal embedded in it, and it looks like the boar has kind of rubbed up against this area a little bit, and more of those kind of sheer gouges in the stone, and there are a few basically like sword or spear sized chunks of its tusks kind of around the stone. But you can make a lore roll to figure out. There's a +1 since you're working against
Sword-sized chunks.
what this metal is.
Crikey.
I would love to roll 3 skulls. Two of them were from... Yeah, 2 of them are from the original. I'll just take my damage.
Okay. Is iron ore. So possibly could be extracted from this column, and you have chunks of ivory to work with. And there seems to be a strong, sweet odor in this cave, in this area of the cave.
Is it the sweet odor of rot?
No, even over that, it's almost kind of like a perfume.
Is it like a banana scented rum?
We should be so lucky.
No, it doesn't seem to be what was described to you. You don't see metal objects stuck to it.
Should we press on?
But
Yeah.
described.
think
So,
so.
kind of almost like this sweet candy-like scent is wafting in the area, and as you look up, there are these purplish plant flowers hanging from the ceiling of the cave above you.
Flowers don't grow in caves.
These
I don't need
ones
to be
do.
lore to check that. Are they similar to the? No, our spooky tree friend had red flowers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your spooky tree friend, now you know, was covered in blind fire vines. but seems to be able to control them. So this seems something native to the island, maybe documented somewhere.
To the field guide.
But you can move on if you want.
I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm already searching. I'm just trying to look through. But they're purple, you say?
Yes.
Yes.
And let me also search for sweet.
I don't want to move too far ahead of you. I'm reading a book.
It's an expansive book, which I do appreciate.
It doesn't have a search function, does it?
Okay, while you guys
It
are
does,
looking that up.
and I'm.
While you guys are looking that up, we're gonna go to here. So, Ja, you wake up. Svezgol is shaking you. You are concussed as per the crit injury chart, and you are down on the ground here. Let's put your friend here. Svezgol is trying to drag you out from under the tree that has fallen on top of you, and about 10 feet away from you, the very broken and shattered boar just kind of pumping blood out on the ground, thrashing with its
Wildly.
death throes.
Okay.
Yes. So let's see if Svezgol can get you out.
Can I loose an arrow while being dragged?
Sure. You're gonna take a -2 to that.
I'll not hurt myself then.
Okay. It does appear that this creature is mortally wounded, and Svezgol drags you deeper into the jungle, and you hear the thing continue to thrash, basically, as long as you're in hearing distance, but it doesn't ever seem to be approaching you.
I'm gonna keep my eyes out if anything gets attracted to this commotion.
Okay. You can go ahead and give me a scanning roll, and I believe you would take a -2 to that for your concussion. Wow, okay. Finally a good roll, and even with negatives. It seems to be you're fine, and Svezgol is able to kind of find this small depression to drag you into, where you could only be approached from this kind of 5-foot opening, and so for right now you guys are safe.
Cool.
What are you gonna be doing in the immediate time?
Is there any way I can treat myself?
Yes, there is. Somewhere in the player's handbook.
Healing, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I don't really remember how it works.
Page 56, 108, or 123.
Okay, so if I succeed, I recover a number of attribute points equal to the number of 6s.
Yeah, so you're gonna get a +1 because Svezgol is helping you,
Okay.
but it doesn't heal your critical injury.
Correct. If I push it, does that get rid of the 1x, or could that potentially get me 2?
No, so that can potentially get you 2, just at the risk of injuring your empathy.
That's totally fine.
Do you have willpower left at this point, though?
I do have 1, because I decided not to use it on my jump.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Terrible. So that's
Alright,
2 empathy.
Yeah.
Recover 1 strength, but I have 2 willpower now.
Yeah. So basically, the kind of like injury to your tendons in your leg that kind of hurt your agility is more extensive than you thought. It just makes you like quite sickened to be trying to like to figure out some sort of like cast or brace for it. So that'll explain your empathy damage for right now.
Okay.
Well, you survived.
Somehow. Yeah, I'm gonna want to be like a good distance away, maybe like over here, watching this thing as it dies.
Okay, so you're gonna make your way back to the boar and then not be going to the cave right now, right?
Correct. I'm gonna keep an eye on this thing.
We'll see how that goes when we come back to the caves.
So is this, and you can see me in like the torchlight while still following after Z, reading through the field manual. Is this jelly moss? I ask almost aloud.
The cave does not answer. Your voice echoes back a little bit, and yeah, you're left pondering.
What's the benefit of jelly moss? If it were jelly moss, I would
It acts as a
inquire.
glue, a very effective glue. Hey, could you just describe those things to me again?
Yeah, so hanging from the top of the ceiling of the cave are these purple and white mottled balloons, and there's emanating this kind of sweet smell. And at one point you do see something, some kind of liquid drip from one of them and fall to the floor, maybe possibly confirming or destroying your theory of what it is.
Okay, I might be unsettled.
Okay, so what is your action at this point?
Continue to move through the cave, look for that rock.
Okay.
Smash a
Oh,
rock.
I should. No, I don't leave you.
Come on, let's go.
You gotta reset my sight, sorry.
Crap. I wonder why it's messing you up.
Yeah, because we switched to your stuff. Well, I can see it because I guess there's.
There we go.
Awesome.
I continue my mosey. Okay.
Posey.
And then steps, trying not to reveal too much too fast.
Yes, split. Split the party.
Running.
Come around again.
So, you are coming to an area where, again, this deep rut of where the boar travel frequently kind of seems to go off in this direction.
Oh, we need to follow birds. Let's go. We need to go.
Okay.
And hanging from the roof of the cave are these like just broken roots from some trees or plants above, and you kind of stumble over a
There it
silver
is.
glint. We'll wait before we get over there.
Nope, going back.
Right about here, you see a silvery glint on the ground. Something metallic appears buried, kind of like not intentionally buried, but just by the passage of this boar.
I kneel and try and suss out what it is under the torchlight.
Okay, so looking closely, you see it appears to be either a pair of metal gauntlets or metal arms, like complete forearms and hands made out of steel or some other type of metal.
Are they worth picking up? Or are they not so nice?
I mean, they're covered in probably boar feces and dirt, and they don't appear to be rusted, but definitely filthy.
Oh shit, are these dripping trees? Am I seeing the roots of dripping trees?
I don't know.
What's a dripping tree?
Lick it.
Well,
I asked.
do I look up and see
You
the
can,
roots and see globes of
You can roll a lore check with a +1 to if you want assistance with what you're identifying in the guy.
No.
Wah.
Yep. These
So
are totally
nothing.
dripping trees.
Okay.
Definitely dripping trees for sure.
I strongly advise staying away from the mucus bulbous thingies.
I try to do that generally. Alright. I'm
You're
gonna
not
leave
big into
those-
mucus.
I'm gonna make a mental note of where I found these gauntlets and press on. Because it might be better.
Alright, onward you go.
Here we are.
So over here, you see a pit of just debris and plant material and a little bit of blood, where the boar has kind of like made its little bed and or a very large bed, and the smell of its musk is the most overpowering in this area of the cave. And kind of dotted around the bed seems to be some sort of red fungi or mushrooms of some sort.
This mushroom up here.
Yep. all
What's the
those
field
little
guide
plants
say
and stuff.
about mushrooms? Quick to the field guide.
Let's find out.
All right. While you guys are looking at the guide, we'll jump back to our folks at the cliff and figure out what they're doing. Okay, so the boar is no more. It appears to be deceased, and just basically the small pond of blood around it, and its organs are spilling out from one side where it's broken itself in the fall. And
Is there anything strange about this blood? Is it acidic? Is it flammable?
the only thing strange is its immense amount, but I guess it makes sense for the size of this creature.
Yeah.
It appears to be blood as you recognize it.
Okay. I'm gonna ask my butcher friend here to cut open its stomach,
That seems like something he would do very good.
and then I'll turn away to not watch.
I love it every time.
Yep.
Poor little goblin.
He's not poor. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Hey, can you do the dirty work? Thanks.
So, shake of his long ears, he says the goal gets to work, and you hear him struggle quite a bit to get through its hide before he can even start cutting into its innards.
Mhm.
But eventually, you're awarded the sound of a very
Sloshing.
wet and ploppy waterfall behind you. Is just innards and
You got there.
stomach contents pours out, and this new acidic kind of smell is now in the air, overpowering the coppery blood and even the musk of this thing.
And the small plants
And-
I have in my mask.
Are you gonna turn and check the stomach contents, or wait for your goblin to call them out?
Nope, I'm gonna wait for him.
So in his goblinly voice, yes, lots of plants, rocks. Here's an arm. It looks like lizard arm of some sort. Basically, a whole boar in here, barely chewed. It's pretty filthy. And then he kind of squeaks and is runs past you and rubs his hands in the dirt as this thing's intense stomach acids begin to burn him.
Wipes it off. I'll pour some water on his hands.
Okay.
This thing's probably like over 1,000 pounds, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably several tons.
I'm gonna walk around to the other side of it. I'm assuming it's like dead on its side.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I'm gonna walk around to the back side.
It looks like it hit head first and kind of like broke its neck a little bit.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it is on its side now after the thrashing.
I would like to skin the hide off of it and kind of like field prep large swaths of hide from its back.
Yeah, so you would have to spend basically a watch per like let's say like 10 square foot section, because it's just so thick, and
Noted.
you basically have to like constantly resharpen your knife after working at
We'll
it.
come back.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell our goblin friend if he hasn't found anything interesting or shiny in this thing's stomach, we should meet up with our friends.
Okay, so as you guys are working it, kind of between the two of you, are you gonna be harvesting the hide, or are you gonna do that later?
We'll come back.
Okay, so as you are checking it over, you do find this thing's like it still has those obsidian spears kind of in the hide, and some of them didn't even penetrate the hide at all, and some of them did kind of go through. There's a whole bunch of arrows and different types of spears, like several different makes, it looks like, and some of them are quite aged and have been embedded for a while. But one thing that does stick out to you is this perfectly black arrow. It's almost so black that it lacks definition. It's just really hard to see its shape and dimensions, and that's kind of what makes it stick out to you.
Highly interested. Hovering my hand over it before touching it. Heat, cold.
It
Pain.
feels pretty cold for the jungle air.
Okay.
And despite how filthy this creature is, the fletching are these like brilliant white feathers that just
Gotcha.
like that aren't dirty at all.
I'll touch it back by the fletching. Just real quick little 3-finger grab.
Okay. You don't really notice anything else besides just the coolness of the shaft of the arrow, or the fletching even, but you kind of get the like I assume your character's like been in a Boyers before, where arrows are being made, and you kind of like get like the smell of like freshly crafted arrows, like the wood and the feathers together in like such large amount, and it just strikes you, that memory
takes me
for
back
a moment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's going in the quiver. And I will ask him to come with me to help our friends in case one of the other Boris show up.
Okay. All right, so you guys are heading to the cave, but aren't quite there yet, so we'll jump back to our friends there.
I was mistaken, by the way. I'm now moderately certain the first plant that we saw were cave lilies. I still don't know what the roots were.
I would say you in character know that, but since you failed the roll, out of character, you know that they are cave lilies for future reference, but right now you don't know that they are.
Okay. And I have no idea what the mushrooms are either.
I'm not going to touch any of those mushrooms. I'm not even really going to breathe around those mushrooms.
Aww.
Hey, is that a pickaxe?
I assume you can see now. Yes, it does appear to be a pickaxe.
I don't think he can
You
see
also
that.
find a, it looks like kind of like an old, like the style is not quite right, but maybe like a whaling harpoon that you've seen before, but a long spear that is made out of ivory.
Great. I'll grab them both.
Okay. I hope Quartermaster here is kind of noting what you guys pick up and what you don't.
Shit.
All right, so you picked
I
up
took a break.
a pickaxe, a ivory spear, or harpoon of some sort. And as you kind of pull it out of the roots that it's stuck in, it does appear to be carved with some sort of like whaling scenes along its length. And then Jaw, you guys don't know in character, but he picked up a black arrow.
I wrote it down on my sheet.
Cool. All right, so where else are you guys going to look? And then, Marty, when you arrive at the cave, are you going to call out, or are you just going to walk in?
I'm just going to walk in.
Okay, so let's set you up with proper light to be a torch.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna actually let the goblin guide me. And I assume after a
Oh,
certain
okay.
point, we're gonna see light.
Yep, so I'll give you goblin vision then.
Can I just follow the tracks that the boar will follow as I move through? I know that you're
Yep.
still
Yeah, I'll point that out to you in a second. Let me get him in position.
there.
I won't look at the map while you move me, in case it reveals something.
It probably reveals my crappy rush job to build it.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, so I'll give you a cue in a minute, but goblin vision now, so you can see quite far.
Can I have control of my guy?
You should be able to control it, can you?
I cannot. Well, wait. Wrong tool. Never mind.
Okay, cool.
That'll do it. Well, there's two of them. At least on my map. Not that I can see them in character.
Okay. I have the darkness in here so dark I can't even see your characters. I'm just kind of clicking around your name because I can't see in the darkness until I click on your character so I can see what your dark vision is. Okay, cool. So you guys are over here.
Making our way.
So it appears that there is a trail going down in this direction.
All right. And at this split,
Down this way.
Z.
Sorry,
I
out
see.
of character. I had a cat eating some fuzz.
Well, that's as good a reason as any that I know. I've got 4 myself, so
Nice.
Ah, the dream.
they're pretty great.
Demon.
It's a
Adorable little
challenging pack
shits.
we've made for them.
All right, so Ja, you can be coming in at this point.
Do I see the glow of their torch at any point?
Yes, your goblin eyes definitely pick that out far ahead of even what if you can't see that far, you can see the light at least, so you would know where they are in the cave.
I'm gonna cough.
How would you guys react to hearing a cough?
It's a familiar cough.
Oh, it's gonna freeze in place. But if it's a familiar cough that we've heard before, I'm on my way.
I mean, I'd still say you guys
My friends.
freeze for a moment before you process. So you see a very heavily bandaged and bloody Ja approaching you once he enters your torchlight.
Who's also
Cool.
kind of like walking like he's drunk.
What happened to the board? Clearly you won.
Yeah. Like, we got it off the cliff.
Good. That's all that we could ask for.
Yes, and that one is not coming
And they
back.
got you off the tree.
But I don't know if I'm supposed to sleep or wait and then sleep. I forget, but I need some medical attention once we're done with all this. Yeah.
Yes, that's clear. This isn't safe. We should have tried to find the stone immediately and leave as fast as we can.
I agree. Where have you
So
looked?
the path goes down in this direction.
We need to go further down into the cave. We found its
In north,
bed,
yeah.
but
There seems to be a stone structure.
All right, so with Svazgol's goblin eyes, they guide you to a boulder covered in weaponry and hunks of metal.
Can I wander as they look at that? Can I wander out away?
Yeah, so
My friend, can I borrow
buddy.
your torch?
Take a buddy.
I hand over my torch.
Who want to be my
this
buddy?
Great white boulder it's half buried in the ground and covered in the same iron ore veins you saw in that column to the north, but also tons of weaponry and just thick sheaves of hair and blood and just chunks of old rotting meat from who knows what.
So here's what I want to do. Sorry, you're still describing. I apologize.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to take down all of the long weapons that I can find, including the harpoon, everything with a hat. Put them together in a bundle and use someone's rope to tie them up so we can take as many as possible.
Okay, so it is extremely difficult to get the weaponry off of this boulder. The force that is attracting it is quite strong, but between the pair of you, I'm guessing you're both working at this, you're able to get them off and kind of drag it away. And once you're 20 feet away, that force appears to disappear completely. And you're able to get a pretty good load of weapons bundled up.
Bundled weapons, got it. Not to be that person, but is there a friend still in armor? Is he
Yes.
attracted to the stone?
I did not walk by the stone.
Okay, good.
Funny enough.
Good move.
Yeah, he split off from you guys.
Smart. Okay. I have bundled weapons. Logged.
What is down here in this corner? Nothing.
Only me.
Yeah. There, got your character.
There it
So
is.
down there, a hard-packed dirt floor, heavily trampled by the beast, rough walls of basalt. There is a huge obsidian great axe down in this corner of the cave. Looks like the work of the night axe ogres.
It's not what we are looking for.
But they would probably like it, I suspect. Maybe killed by one of their allies who died.
Let me ask you this. How simple was it for them to dig up and craft the obsidian?
There might be some emotional value. It costs us nothing to carry it with us.
Can you carry it?
I don't know. Can I?
Probably not.
Jeff?
This is as large as I am.
It's a great axe, so it's definitely super heavy. You will have to think of some sort of method to carry all this weaponry out of here. You can drag the bundle between the pair of you or something, but you can carry the great axe individually, but with all the other weaponry, it's just you're gonna be over encumbered.
We have 4 of us all together, so 2 of us can carry the bundle and 1 of us could carry the axe. Is that so?
We
That
have
would be good.
3.5.
Are you the half or is the goblin the half?
No, the little man is the half. Please, come on.
Aren't you injured?
He's gonna counter that. Yeah,
I feel
pretty damage
great.
you have at this point.
Okay.
I am in my element down here.
Who's carrying this great axe then? Okay.
Behind his back, the goblin shaking his head. Not okay.
I'll carry the great axe.
Okay. Thank you, Z. All right, so kind of looking around the rest of the cave, you find more bones.
I'm gonna go off on a
More
long
hunks of
story
meat.
about how the dwarves are the fucking best and how this cave is nothing compared to the things my people have created. You know, the whole earth was once a pebble, and it was given to our people. Just goes off. Very casually talking now.
About halfway through, the goblin's going to snark that he hopes a boar can't compete with the entire dwarven race, but since you were concerned about it, maybe they can.
The boars were not a big a deal, eh?
Okay, so you basically have gotten everything out of the cave that is gettable. You've left some stuff behind, so are you guys going to keep exploring, or are you going to head out?
What is this pool of water here?
So there are a few places in the cave where small puddles from dripping are formed from like drips from above, but this seems to be a small spring or aquifer from the ground, and smells like pretty clean water. It does appear that the boar drinks from it, and there is some like kind of hair floating in it, but otherwise, I mean, it looks
Nothing in the
clear.
bottom.
No, it's pretty shallow, and it seems to be coming up from the like this gravel below.
Okay. Yeah, if we take the time to just kind of explore the rest of this.
Yeah, give me a group scout roll then with a +3.
Who's our scout? Two.
Well, I'm also hurting, but that's a 9 total if I roll it.
Oh.
With the -2?
Well, that's the +3, but yeah, that's the 2
Okay.
hit to agility.
That's pretty.
Do I still get hurt?
No, I don't think you get hurt on the first roll. It's only when it's the
Yeah,
second.
it's
When
only
you
when
push
you
it.
push.
Gotcha.
You find another set of chainmail armor. It's on like a kind of moldering, looks to be like a human body. The mail is a little rusty, but nothing that good scrubbing won't take care of. And then the only other things left are those silver gauntlets in the ground.
We should probably check those out. Those might be magic.
Yeah.
I'll check those out.
How are you going to
Get
check them
yourself
out?
some gauntlets.
They're in the ground. Are they attached
They're like
to
kind of like
arms?
half buried by like dirt that's been kind of
Is
trampled on it by the boar.
I would not touch it
Is
with my
there-
hands.
We have
Is
digging
there-
implements.
yes.
Oh.
Is there an obvious place where a head would be?
So one back end is kind of sticking up. It looks like it's just maybe from a statue or something. You can't really tell if it's gauntlets or like literal like metal armature structure from like a statue or something. But it appears that they're not actually connected to anything below ground. It's roughly human sized.
I guess I'll use one of the obsidian shovels to dig them out and get them more into the air.
Okay, yeah. So they appears to be a paired set of metal arms. It does look to be jointed in the wrists and knuckles, and it appears to like go up to a statue's like elbow or something, and then be cut off at that point. But maybe possible of motion, or possibly capable of motion. I mean,
when I look down the chamber of it, if it's a gauntlets, it ought to have a hollow interior. Does it have such a hollow interior?
it does not.
Okay. I don't know what these are. I don't know that we should take them, but I am open to thoughts.
I have a small idea, but I have found a man.
I'm sorry, what?
I found a man.
Where are you? Show your location.
There is a man outside. There is a man outside!
That is actually the corpse of a night axe ogre.
No,
Is he fresh?
that's sad.
It looks like he's been dead for quite some days out here.
I see.
His chest is ripped open by the massive tusk of the boar.
Does he have the bones and the bits?
No, not covered in bones.
I see.
It looks like one of those lightly armored kind of like foot soldier that were with not the lean warriors that were with the captain, but the more rotund common ogre.
Zarnak, is there anything? I feel like you're a spiritual respect giving type. Is there anything we can do for rights for this guy? Like,
I don't know their culture, and the nuns were more into punishment than they were forgiveness. I know some small prayers of the human church. I could speak them over the body if you would all be supported by that.
that might be a nice thought.
I can do that. Please, I turn and incant some of the prayers that I heard being incanted back at the Covenant where I was dropped off as a child.
Awesome. I like that.
My character has a very resonant voice when speaking in this manner, almost as if it's been practiced for a while.
Does he have anything on him? Like, visible? I don't really want to rifle through any
He
pockets.
has, like, very visible, is kind of like half buried in the dirt beside him is a small kind of like hand axe of obsidian. And about 10 feet from his body is a spear of obsidian. Like, literally the whole spear length of a short spear from the obsidian.
Oh.
I feel like we should return these to his countrymen.
In retrospect, it's odd that the axe made its way all the way into the cave, given that it wouldn't.
It's not metal.
Yes, and I guess that.
Can you
I
roll a
guess it
lore?
would still be. I guess it could still be attached to the creature's body and then just be scraped off against a wall. Let me go ahead and roll that.
I did see spears embedded in the hide, the thick hide of this thing, and some were very old that we did not craft.
So kind of between your surmising and like the evidence that Jaw's given you of like just so many weapons embedded in this thing, it was either embedded or it was one of those raids that Glavrock was describing, where
Didn't work out.
Yeah, people tried to go in and get the loot just as you did, but they didn't plan as well and didn't make it.
I am not seeing a lot of loot in here.
One thing I would really like to clarify: what happened with the arms?
Yes, I would also like to. I don't think that we've agreed upon that yet. I think Marty had an idea.
They are in the shovel. I have a suspicion that they are part of those walking statues you were talking about from the other place down south.
It is possible.
Yeah, that is so.
In your book there, they seem very scary.
Well, there are several things that are similar to that. I worry most especially about the singing statues.
That is what I'm talking about.
Yes, they appear to be. They are reported to be transformed elves, which of course could be extremely dangerous.
Let us hope not.
Perhaps it is best to leave those there for the time and keep them in mind if we hear more about those.
I have a question. Is there a specific thing that we were looking for in here, or that was expected?
No,
The
so
weapons.
just generally they said this thing, so many weapons get embedded in it, and either it fights things or people are trying to kill it for the weapons. It kind of like drags to the cave, or people leave there trying to raid the cave, and every once in a while they want to gather those weapons to help in the war. So you were just kind of like shotgun approach. You weren't like sent in specifically for anything.
The field guide reading about these singing statues report that these golems were not made for combat. But I'm not sure. They are not equipped or prepared to fight, it says.
Yeah, so just general golem lore that everyone knows. Like the elves made tons of golems just for like anything, like literally like single service golems that like do some menial tasks to like actual like war golems. But yeah, like golems can be anything.
This is what I'd like to do. I would like to take those arms via shovel out of the cave, bring it someplace nearby where we will know where they are buried, and then bury them there. So we can come back and get them as needed and not have to journey back into that pit.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that seem okay to everyone?
Yeah, that sounds like an idea.
All right.
Yeah, what time of day is it?
So at this point,
Probably
it's
evening.
afternoon.
No? Okay.
Yeah, it's just afternoon. Yeah, I mean, for all your planning, like all this stuff, like went by pretty quickly. So afternoon of the 4th day is where we're at.
Listen, the board, we left. But we should make use of it. Yeah, there is lots of meat. The hide seems exceptional. And it has these large tusks that must be worth something to somebody.
Maybe we can use the hide to better transport some of this stuff.
Ugh.
Instead of lugging it around.
Honestly, for anything.
Yeah.
Let me bury the arms quickly, because that might be something that we can haul to our masters to escape some of our fate.
Put it under this tree.
It's a good tree.
Yes, we'll put them under the tree.
Should we bury this guy as well?
We do not
While we're here?
want to disrespect any.
Well, if we're coming back, potentially for the arms, we can.
They may be a
Bury
burning
every
people, you know.
We'll
Okay.
tell the ogres where their body is.
Yeah.
They are returned to the wind, not the soil.
I like it. So
I do that thing.
arms buried, and where are you hauling the weapons to?
Is our camp closer, or is the ogre town closer?
Your camp is closest. It's about a mile.
I mean, what do you guys think?
Ja is just kind of leaning up at the edge of the cave, like one hand on the wall of the cave, one leg kind of crossed over the other, just staring into the cave. It's like talking to you, but just can't look away from the cave.
And at this point, you are completely immune to the stench of the thing. Like you don't smell it anymore. But I'm sure if anyone were to smell you, they would smell it quite strongly.
So the question was, should we go back to the camp to drop off some stuff before we get back to the boar hide?
Yeah, you guys gonna like rest? Or you guys gonna try to take the weapon somewhere? Or like kind of like what's your next actions? Because it's 11:20, so like we'll probably close
Yeah.
out pretty soon. I just want to like talk through what you're gonna be doing next.
I believe we should take apart the board. I do not know if it will be there if we spend too long. We come back.
Fair enough.
Very well. I'll protect the weapons then, I suppose. We'll go there with the weapons, and someone will have to watch them so they don't get taken.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's we'll pick up next time.
Right.
This session went really well.
Awesome.
all your planning definitely saved at least one of you from being killed.
Almost.
I was wondering how this was gonna go. Like this thing's stats are just ridiculous.
Oh boy.
So it's good that you did not fight it.
Yeah.
I'll say.
I'm of the opinion I'm not going to be fighting anything throughout all of this. Unless I get a magic ray gun, fighting
Yeah.
is off the table.
Yeah.
I mean, perfectly fine. You can definitely. This is definitely the pre-made campaign to try a diplomatic approach all the time.
100% my dude. Like, I've got manipulation and insight, and that's what... Honestly, I really like the system's
Sounds great.
work around manipulation. And I really liked how Foundry functioned in the dark. I thought that went really, really well. So
Awesome.
impressed.
Yeah. This platform's pretty delightful so far.
Yeah.
A little
yeah,
bit challenging to use, but delightful.
I mean, this is the first game I've actually used it, but it's been great. Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. Cool. All right. Yeah. So we'll end it there, and thank you all